Hello there and welcome back to Space Marine. Had quite a few rounds to choose from this time, all of them fairly good, but I went for this one in the end because I think it really does demonstrate how I would like to play games, maybe not quite how I actually can play the games all the time. Now the main reason for this is that the teams start off fairly small. I think at this stage it's only 4 or 5 aside. I'm not entirely sure how many it is, but that does give us a lot of space to move into and catch people out. Starting off the game, it looks like one of the enemy is attacking our home point, and he has a vengeance launcher and mastercrafted grenade, so scratch 2 teammates there, although they did manage to get the capture first. We are just going to stick around on this center point and take out one of the enemies trying to advance on us before we're moving around to see if we can try and knock down this guy. We can take out the earlier attacker, although he is able to get the decap first. Having secured B, we can move on to the enemy home point, but it does look like we've got at least one target, and indeed the vengeance launcher guy is back again and very nearly takes us out. Although this does provide us with a glimpse of the strategy that the other team is going to be using, and that is teleport homers. This means that we're going to have to be pretty careful when engaging one of those two, because chances are that another one is going to spawn on him or he's going to have his buddy with him. Right now we do have 2 points locked down, so we can afford to push up a little bit and see if we can catch anyone coming out of their spawn. There's an assault marine, but we're taking hits from behind, and that is not something I am really too interested in. Indeed, it does look like our teleport homer buddies on the other team are both on B and have managed to get the decap. So instead of attacking from the same angle as our teammate, we're going to push in from the side and see if we can locate them. Okay, they are both there, and we have been spotted, so it's time to go in. We can dodge that grenade. We're pretty low on health though, so we have to go all the way in, and we can just about take out the second one, prevent the decap, and even survive. With both the teleport homer buddies down, we can lock down B and just keep an eye out for anyone respawning. While we were fighting on this point, it does look like our teammates managed to secure the decap over on the enemy's home point. We can't actually see anyone there, and it does look like the vengeance launcher at the very least is back over there. We can, however, pick off that las cannon who was very hurt already, and it does look like there's a bit too much fire coming there, so we're going to flank around and see if we can try from this angle instead. We do know that there is at least one target on C at the moment because they have just captured it, so we're just going to hold back this position. We can see a heavy bolter who hasn't spotted us, so he is pretty much free food, although that does give away our position, so it's time to move around to the next side and see if we can catch anyone unawares here. Our assault marine friend is being chased, so we can quickly take down his attacker, and again we've given away our position, so we do need to relocate for the moment. This is, I would say, the way I most like to play, sort of, you know, picking at the enemy from all different angles, taking one kill and then falling back to a better position, maybe picking off 2 in one go, like we're going to try and do here. We can take out first one teleport homer and then move in and kill off his friend. We're taking a bit of heavy fire, so it is time to find another angle of attack, never staying in one place for long enough for the enemy to start to respond and adjust. By the sound of it, the enemy heavy bolter is still in the same position as before. Let's see if we can get an angle on him. We can, but we are taking pretty heavy fire from a vengeance launcher and a grenade, and it is time to back up and get out of there. All 3 of our teammates have gone down, so we are in a bit of trouble here. The vengeance launcher has pursued a bit over aggressively though, so he is essentially a free kill. This guy is also just firing us with a bolter, so we can charge down and finish him off as well. Although the area is clear for now, it would not surprise me in the least bit if someone tried to rapid deploy there, which is not something I really want to be a part of. However, it does look like the enemy are not into that right now, so we can push up a little bit and start engaging their reinforcements. Some pretty questionable shooting sees both targets survive, although both very low on health, so we are going to push up and see if we can pick one off. This guy is poking his head out, so he is going to get taken out. Don't really want to hang around C too much, because the moment we start to cap it, there's a very real threat that someone could spawn there, and indeed it looks like both of those guys have spawned, and we're taking fire from behind, so this is definitely time to relocate. Taking the risk of going through the enemy spawn, it's a little bit of a risk, but I don't think anyone is going to be expecting it, least of all this guy who has completely lost track of us, so he is going to get taken right down. Moving round to rejoin our team, we are in search of another kill, but it does look like our teammate has beaten us to it, although fire is coming from the left, so we have to be a little bit careful here that we don't get outflanked. We can see a tactical coming in, but a very strange misclick sees me swap weapons instead of finishing him. Not what I had in mind, but we can take out his friend instead. One more target in the area is going to get taken right down with a couple of headshots from the stalker bolter, and that area is now clear once again. However, we have spotted that there's an assault marine moving on our home point, so we are going to head round and see if we can cut him off as he comes through here. Can't seem to see or hear him though, so perhaps he's decided to change his mind and go a different way. Either that or he has just been killed, not entirely sure which. Either way, he is not here anymore. One thing that is here, however, is an enemy vengeance launcher, which is not something we really want to fight from the open, so we're going to take cover and drive him back into cover. But out of absolutely nowhere comes an assault marine. I did not see him coming, and by the looks of it, he did not see us there either, which is going to cost him his life as he tries to loop back and finish us. If he'd been a bit better prepared there, then that would have been a sure kill for him. However, we are not quite done here because there is an enemy tactical moving on the point. We can land a few solid hits on him, leaving him, I think, one hit from death, but he's put a blind nade out, so we'll both be blind, I guess. That is a suspiciously familiar loadout there, melter gun and blind nade. Wouldn't surprise me if it was copied directly from mine. We can, however, prevent the decap and move off elsewhere. Although by the looks of it, yet another enemy tactical is moving on the point with his vengeance launcher. That is not something that we want to engage head on, so instead we're just going to circle round. It may cost us the point in the long run, but it will save our life for sure and give us a much better chance of killing him. He is oblivious and we can land just enough hits to not kill him. Let's throw a blind nade in there. The poor guy is having a big old panic. He's thrown his grenade, he's spamming vengeance launcher shots. He really has no clue where we are right now, so let's just move up and put him out of his misery with our bolt pistol. The flanking maneuver may have cost us a few points in terms of the victory conditions, but we are already way ahead and we are now clear to just take it right back. There's not a whole lot we can do while we're taking this point, and the enemy is indeed starting to decap B. We can only just keep an eye on that choke point now and see if anything pops out. There's an enemy, but he's already dead, and our teammate is in a bit of trouble there and isn't going to last that much longer. Unfortunately, they did manage to get the decap, so we are going to head up and see if we can knock them down from up on this balcony. See if we can get an angle on them. We can see one, so he is dead, and his friend is there too, so we can take out both of the teleport homers, but it's a little bit too late, fraction of a second too late in fact, and they do manage to complete the capture. We can hear a few enemy players around here, so we are just going to grab this corner and hold it for the moment. Indeed, there are two assault marines here, and this one seems to be completely immune to any of our firepower. We're a little bit isolated here, and he was certainly not alone, so instead we are going to fall back and try and lure him to a place with a ceiling. He is coming right at us and is still not going to die, except for when we manage to land the second shot and finish him off. A couple of enemies are taking our point, but we do also have an enemy tactical behind us. We can knock him down straight away, and we are still a bit isolated here, so it's time to just throw in a blind grenade and get to cover. Another risky move to just run straight across the enemy's spawn door, but I think it was worth it because the enemies were a bit distracted and looking in other directions, allowing us to just slip by undetected. Instead, we are going to stage an attack on C and help out our teammates here. I'm not sure how many are left. And indeed, there's an enemy tactical down here who we can gun down with our bolt pistol. The point is now ours, so we are a bit freer to go and move around. The enemy still does have 2 points to our 1, although our teammates have this one nicely sealed up. This enemy assault is going to get ambushed by our team's heavy bolter and taken right down before he can do any damage. Sounds like there's a tactical beneath us though, so we can hit him from above and then finish him off with a couple of pistol shots. Not quite in time to save our teammates though, as both of them have been killed. An enemy flanking tactical does not see us somehow, and we are able to make our escape back to our own lines. Instead, we are going to completely switch sides of the map to reinforce our efforts on point A and maybe attack point B. There's an enemy assault here. Okay, this was a bit of a mistake to go back and try and pursue him, but I kind of just made the assumption that my melter shot had actually done damage and that he was nearly dead. By the looks of it though, in reality, my melter shot did just completely bounce off of him and do nothing whatsoever, making us waste a little bit of time in trying to take him out. On the flip side, we are able to kill off the enemy tactical attacking our home point and start heading over to B. However, before we can do that, it does sound like the two teleport homer tacticals have found their way into our backline and are making a real mess of our spawn. We cannot have that, so we're just going to lay a little ambush for them here. We can take out the first one. Trying for the second would be way too greedy and would probably end up getting us killed, so instead we are just going to head back and play it safe. That does mean that we are going to have to find a new angle of attack because our efforts to stop them decapping were not successful, so we are just going to head back and approach with the rest of our team, hopefully when they spawn. One of them has just gone down there though. We can see there are at least two, and we can't quite kill off that tactical. No, he's just staying out of sight, so we're just going to head round to this corner instead. But they have already seemed to have escaped. The round is nearly over, so there's no massive priority in decapping A. Our teammates, I'm sure, are fully capable of doing that when they respawn, and indeed the game might be finished by our teammates over on C. For the moment though, we have an assault marine to worry about, and he seems to be just as resilient as the other one when it comes to melter shots, and we've just been hit by a vengeance launcher. We are in a really, really bad situation now, and the only thing I want to do right now is just survive the round, please. although our teammates do have our back and we are able to escape with our lives, somehow. In the closing seconds there's no real reason to throw our life away, so we're just going to play it safe and drop back to support our defence on A, although it does look like we are not needed as our teammates have the situation completely in hand. We may as well just go outside in search of a couple more kills, although that is really not looking very likely. And indeed, that is unfortunately not going to be the case, because that is the end of the round and we are victorious. We did manage to go through without dying once, which gives us a fairly impressive 31 kill streak in the end. So, as I said at the start, that is a fairly good representation of how I would like to play, a sort of ambushing and hit and run playstyle, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Leave a like if you did and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always I will see you on the battlefield.